Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jimmy and this is Patriots Glow. And in today's video, we have a problem that we need to solve. This right here is a mourning dove. As in mourning, not good morning, but a mourning dove. And this right here is where this mourning dove and its mate likes to make a nest every year, a couple of times a year. Now, this is what happens on multiple occasions. It has made a nest here 5 times, and out of the 5 times, 2 times, this is what ends up happening. Now, for YouTube purposes, I'm not going to put the aftermath of what actually happens on here, but you can imagine there is now no longer a nest there. Probably because of one of these, or maybe one of these. So what we are going to do, because these mourning doves keep wanting to make a nest there, we're actually going to block that spot off, but we are actually going to give them a spot that they can stay. Now, when I look these up, these can range anywhere from $25 to $30 to $40, even up to $50 a piece. And I am not going to pay that much for something like this, but they are selling and they do sell out. So some of the shops on Etsy are actually selling out of these and are almost sold out. And in my local area, they sell for right about $28. It's a weird number, but $28 on Marketplace. So this is definitely something that you guys can make, definitely something that you can sell for around your house. These are probably the most abundant bird in North America. So if you guys want these around and nesting around you, this would be a perfect build for you. So we are going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show you probably one of the easiest builds that you can do, but if you follow the basic concept, you can make this any way that you want and definitely build on this idea and make it really nice, and they sell for a lot of money. And I'll explain some of the necessities that these birds need, which isn't much, but you guys can really build on this idea. So let's go ahead and get into this build. Okay, so I want to first start off with all of these cuts and all of these measurements are entirely up to you. This is the way that I did it, but there is no actual set measurements that you have to make it. There are only some ground rules. For my first cut, I made one 12-inch cut, and then for my next 2 cuts, I made 2 8-inch cuts. Now, those 2 8-inch cuts have a 10-degree angle put on the top of both of those, and that is going to give us the angle of our roof. For this next measurement, it can be 7 or 8 inches long. It depends on how far of an overhang you want it, but I went ahead and made it 7 inches long. Should have made it 8, but it is 7 inches. Now, for this next cut, it's going to be 10 inches long. And the reasoning for this is because I'm going to come back through and cut 2 inches off, because I'm going to need a ledge out front. So you're going to make sure that you have a little bit left over. Now, the reason I do that is because I'm going to bring over my fence pickets and clean up the sides on the table saws. Now, these fence pickets here are exactly 6 inches wide. Most fence pickets are going to be 5.5 inches, but these are 6 inches wide exactly. So I'm going to be coming off just a sliver, so I will be just under 6 inches with this build. Now, I don't show it on here, but I do go back over there and I cut 2 inches or 1 3/4 inches off of that last piece that I cut, and that is going to be a ledge piece for us. Now, off camera, I do add a couple of extra things on here, like the back piece. I end up putting a 30-degree angle on the top, and then for the roof, I put a 10-degree angle so it'll butt up against the back wall, And then I put a couple of 10-degree angles up towards the front just to give it a little bit of an accent so that it doesn't just look like plain Jane. Then obviously you come through, you want to sand everything down. If you're going to stain everything, I would also stain everything right now while it's disassembled, so that when you assemble it, you don't have to worry about trying to get all your stain cleaned up, and make sure that you stain everything everywhere. But we're not staining this, we're going to go ahead and leave it the way it is. All right, and that's going to go ahead and bring us into the assembly portion. Now, it does not matter how you end up putting this together, but I recommend starting with the back portion and the base. Now, one of the things that I will say is that you can use screws on that bottom and the base. It will make it stronger, but most birds and their bird nests are not that heavy, so nothing here is going to fall apart with me using these brad nails. But if you want to be safe, you can go ahead and use screws, but everything's glued together and brad nailed together as well. Now, all birds are a bit different, but I know for these mourning doves that they do not need a lot of space, and you kind of seen from where they were perched before, they were nested on a 4x4, which is really 3.5 by 3.5. Not a very smart place to be sitting. So these measurements right here will give them plenty of space to nest and have plenty of room to stretch out. And the ledge out front will make sure that nobody just yeets themselves off the front, which is always a good thing. And you can always make that front ledge smaller or more enclosed to add a little bit of extra safety. Now, because I am only using brad nails, I do make sure that I put plenty of brad nails into this and use a generous amount of glue. Both are cheap. I am not worried about overusing either one of them. Now, I do like using that front portion the way that I did put it on there, because it hides that end grain on the bottom piece. So you can add that ledge however you want, whether you want to put it on the top or in the front. I just like hiding the end grain with that piece right there. All right, once that is installed, it brings us to the roof, and this is why you need that 10-degree angle on one of your end pieces here, so that it will butt straight up against that back wall and you won't get any water in there. Make sure you use plenty of glue so that you're not going to have any water getting in there. You might want to put a couple of holes in the bottom of this just so that any water that does get in can drain out, but it should drain out of the front as well, so everything should be okay, but better safe than sorry. Once everything's assembled, go ahead and add whatever finish you want on it. Just make sure that it's going to be able to withstand the weather, and that's it. All right, everybody, there you go. Simple, easy, not even one full fence picket, so you could definitely batch a lot of these out with multiple fence pickets. This one here, I think could safely sell for $25. I did put a chamfer on the front, a little bit of an angle here on the top, but you can design and style this however you want. Basically, it is just a nesting box, not an actual birdhouse, but different types of birds just need nesting boxes, and they are really cool. I do like having those mourning doves right there outside my door as I walk out, but unfortunately, the mountain lions or whatever continues to jump up there and get those. So I am going to have to hang this on the outside of my house, and hopefully I get to see these guys come and lay their eggs in this instead, because I do not want their nests to get messed up anymore, because unfortunately they don't care if their nests continue to get messed up. That same couple keeps coming back time after time, trying to lay their nest there and lay eggs there continuously. So we are going to go ahead and give them this one. I might make a couple more, stain one, maybe leave one natural. This one's quite natural, but I did put an oil finish on here. so it will have a little bit more protective coating on it. But if you guys liked what you've seen, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe, and like always, you guys are the foundation of this channel. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I hope to catch you in the next video.